Would you believe me if I told you this is what people have been posting about Gypsy Rose?
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, kind of insane. No, she's not a beauty guru, but rather known for her upsetting past and the action she took against her own mother. First of all, Gypsy has already been cancelled. Well, sort of. Although most people are hoping, with time, Gypsy is able to live the most normal life she possibly can after her past. Some are criticizing her for inconsistencies that have been popping up as more and more documentaries and interviews come out. This is what at least a few users online have expressed, and by inconsistencies, they clarified that under oath at Nick Godejohn's trial that they did some adult dancing, if you know what I mean, in the movie theater bathroom as a plan to fall pregnant so Dee Dee would let them be together. But in the Lifetime documentary, she claims they actually didn't do the dancing because certain body parts wouldn't collaborate. This user also said Gypsy has changed what the last thing her mom said to her was multiple times, but they did also say that these inconsistencies could be due to memory or trauma related, but it does affect and poke holes for her credibility. They actually advised for Gypsy to be cancelled as soon as possible so she doesn't get into trouble with the parole board. And following a podcast Gypsy appeared on, some viewers accused her of being manipulative, which just fueled this general idea. I understand both sides of this debate. Should she have been cancelled for it? That's up to you. But Gypsy responded to the haters in the most throwback way possible because she posted this onto Instagram. Yeah, keep calm and ignore the haters. Her caption even read, "Those who choose to stay ignorant about my personal growth as a person and place labels on me do not influence my happiness. Spread love, not hate." She has kept this photo up and actually got a puppy just recently, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are about her Instagram keep calm post, because personally I would be lying if I said I didn't think it was a little funny.
Well girl, how old are you? I'm getting nervous.
Hold on, let's backtrack, but hold on to that age thought. On Instagram, Gypsy already began shouting out some people she knew, and this actually caused people to leave a ton of comments under her photos. In a now deleted photo, Gypsy originally posted a selfie of her and her nephew with the caption, "Hanging out with my nephew Noah," and then she tagged his account before saying, "Girls, show my boy some love and hit his DMs. Only the age appropriate ones though, he's only 15, LOL." Although it was pretty obvious for some that her nephew must have asked for the shout out, as he did quickly gain thousands of followers, and the caption would lead some to believe that, others were questioning his safety. It's not like Gypsy's a famous TikToker, she has done her time for her past, but regardless it still happened and may not have been the best audience watching her social media. Yes, a ton of young teens making edits of her, but stranger danger. With all the backlash with those worried about Noah's safety, she then wrote, "My nephew wanted me to post a picture and his parents and grandparents gave me permission to do it. It is all in good love." One person said, "I love you Gypsy, but please keep him safe. There's weirdos on here." And another person really went there and said, "Miss Girl, you of all people should know about the crazies you can meet online." And of course this user is referring to Gypsy's relationship with Nicholas Godejohn, who she met online and later planned together how they would take Dee Dee's life. No matter the goal, I think internet safety is something we should always have in the back of our minds, and with the internet being used now more than ever, it is important to keep our children's safety, and that includes Gypsy's nephew. I personally don't think Gypsy meant any harm in this situation. I just don't think she was thinking about safety when she should be. But I'm glad she did take the photo down, and hopefully it was because she recognized the dangers rather than because of the backlash she received. One of the first criticisms Gypsy faced following her release was actually targeted for her husband Ryan Anderson. The two got married back in 2022 after Ryan initially watched the HBO documentary about Gypsy, and this prompted him to mail her a letter. They tied the knot behind bars, but the day of Gypsy's release, he was right there with her at 3:30 a.m. If you don't mind waking up early for me, maybe you're the right one. Right away, paparazzi captured photos and Gypsy shared photos onto Instagram, which brought Ryan into the spotlight. Right away, people started to call the couple Lois and Peter Griffin as a way to mock his appearance. The public was canceling Ryan and even judging how they assumed his personality would be. I saw so many comments saying that he gives bad vibes, has a creepy look, and all that, and this was before he even said anything, and the only thing available was his physical appearance for people to judge, I guess. It was like Ryan was being cancelled for simply existing. He hasn't really done anything wrong that I am aware of, at least. And he even told people before Gypsy was released that he was a little anxious about being in the spotlight because he is a very private person. But don't worry, Gypsy was not gonna let her man get cancelled because she would defend him in her Instagram comments with the kind of iconic quote of,
"Living my best life and y'all can't take that from And the D is
As more and more time has passed, the public has started to see Ryan through a different pair of eyes, as most of the comments I see now are actually praising him for being seemingly supportive and genuine. But that's not the only criticism Gypsy has got regarding her husband, because yes, she is a free woman and can do whatever she wants, but many have expressed how Gypsy has never had time to herself in a way. Growing up, her mother was always right there with her. Then later on, it was Nick, who she was able to eventually act on the plan for the two that they created. And now that she is released from prison, she's already married to Ryan, and some just think she needs some time alone in order to truly grow as an individual. What do you think about this? Because I think Ryan could be good in the sense of her transitioning, but also she probably does need time to herself instead of relying on people for her whole life. Social media has given us memes, celebrities, and even cyber bullies. Wait, cyber bullies? Well, yeah, of course. Are you new to the internet, silly? Well, anyways, some were actually critical on Gypsy's online presence before she was even released from prison. Although social media is a great way to share things with others around the world, it is also the place where everything you say, do, or even acknowledge will be kept forever. And a ton of people have had online discussions through Reddit about how harmful her online presence will be to Gypsy herself in the long run. Although Gypsy is now free, she is still not as quote-unquote normal as people like you and I. Her past, especially her relationship with her mother Dee Dee and the act she committed with her ex, has affected her from a very young age, and I'm no specialist, but I'm sure she must be emotionally damaged, and all the traumatic events she's been through has impacted her everyday life since then. Plus, she spent 8 years of her life behind bars, which although you do get social interaction, it's not the same as living an actual free life. She wasn't freed from prison until December of last year, making her 32 years old, and she was just 23 when the night Dee Dee's life would be taken from her. That is almost 10 years already, and since she was only a few months old, her mom was already claiming she had a ton of health issues. So for her whole life, she has never been really normal, and now she's finally given a chance to live a normal life. Much of it has been spent online. Many people just think she should live her life offline and stay in therapy, but on social media, people have been looking up to her and treat her like an internet personality. And in 2024, cancel culture is very much alive, as it has been for years. I know we already talked about her social media presence, but another cancellation waiting to happen is her influencer career. Within days of her release from prison, a TikTok user posted a video about her own 2024 predictions, and her prediction was that Gypsy would be collaborating with Kim Kardashian, more specifically as a model for her Skims shapewear brand. Not only did this video gain thousands and hundreds of views, but the TikToker made a follow-up video of the North and Kim TikTok account actually liking her Gypsy Rose Skims model prediction. This ultimately means either Kim or North gave that post a like, and if it was North, she could probably convince her mom to do anything. The TikTok also shared how the whole campaign would align with Kim's views of justice reform, as she is a lawyer as well. But of course, both Kim and Gypsy are quite controversial for their online presence already, and whenever a controversial celebrity collaborates with anyone, they get some of that backlash as well. The Kardashians, although have quite the money, they also have quite the haters, and mixing that with Gypsy's current spotlight and controversies, it would either be a PR nightmare or a business win. Plus, Gypsy has talked about how she actually has tried to reach out to Kim in the past. Back in November, before she was released, she reached out through Twitter expressing gratitude for recommending the HBO documentary about her case. And in that same tweet, Gypsy did mention the idea of teaming up with the billionaire to bring tangible change to the justice system. Although some people call Gypsy attention-seeking, sources close to her have insisted that her commitment to using her platform for prison reform is actually genuine, as it is one of her top priorities since her release. No words from Kim yet, but I guess we'll see. I think right now Gypsy has kind of tiptoed into cancellation, because I'm sure it would be hard for her to avoid, as she does have a controversial past. But I wouldn't consider her cancelled like others, because she still has quite the following and her comments are not yet flooded with backlash. I do think it's important to her to maybe take a step back, as she has good intentions to become an advocate, but maybe she should prioritize her own growth first. I obviously want all your thoughts surrounding this, because everyone has different opinions, and feel free to leave all your comments and thoughts down below. Surprise! We also have made it to the end of today's video, and if you haven't already, you should like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host Melanie with InformOverload, and I'll see you next time.